Our Torah portion this week is filled with blessings and curses. These are in large part what we have come to expect from the text. They concern the fertility of crops and of people, victory over enemies or vice versa. Since most of us are neither farmers nor soldiers, it can be tempting to flip through these rather quickly. But this week, one curse stopped me in my tracks. Though you shall eat, you shall not be satisfied. Oof. That one hits home. Because living in the society that we do, where we are constantly pushing ourselves to have more, to do more, to be more, we know this feeling. The curse isn't that there won't be enough. It's that even when there is enough, we will never be content. The curse is dissatisfaction itself. So how do we avoid this fate? One answer comes in the law which immediately precedes this litany of blessings and curses. It's the law of Shemitah, or the sabbatical year. Just as every 7 days we pause our work to enjoy the rest of Shabbat, every 7 years, God says, we are to refrain from working the land, allowing the earth a chance to rest and renew. Once every 7 years, we must stop and allow ourselves to be sustained by what we already have. Otherwise, the curse warns us, we will be doomed to live in an endless cycle of grasping and striving. What would it feel like to be released from this feeling of scarcity? We can catch a glimpse in these words from Psalm 23. Though I walk through a valley of deepest darkness, I fear no harm, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You spread a table before me in full view of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Only goodness and steadfast love shall pursue me all the days of my life. Kosi Revaya, it says in Hebrew. My cup overflows. I am blessed with abundance. And this text, too, hints at the connection between rest and satisfaction, because it says goodness and steadfast love are always pursuing us. We just have to stay still long enough to allow them to catch up. This week, even the scroll itself is urging us to pause. Maybe you saw in the Torah when Cantor Mutlu lifted it, there is a space when Leviticus ends and before Numbers begins. It's a big blank space, a fallow field left within the text, reminding us to appreciate the conclusion of one sacred chapter before launching into the next. And so here I am, in my 7th year at Central, acknowledging that for now, my work here is coming to a close, forcing myself to pause and allow the love and blessings of this time to catch up with me. Kosi Revaya, my heart is overflowing. Last week, I had a chance to catch up with some of our core group leaders, and it was so fun to hear about all of the experiences they're having with their groups. Movie discussions and museum outings and grappling with issues of racial justice and even pickleball in Manhattan. But what filled my heart was hearing that outside their meetings, they're caring for each other, attending each other's weddings and shivas. When one leader was in an accident, her group members reached out to support her, and because she had come to trust them, she allowed herself to say yes. This is my dream come true. Kosi Revaya. Tomorrow, I will lead my last Mishkan service, a service that I helped build with many of you. particularly in this section over here. The Mishkan is a warm, intimate, participatory community of prayer and learning, and it is my favorite place to pray. And like the portable desert sanctuary for which it's named, this sacred place is only possible because of the gifts that you bring. It's because our members and neighbors show up fully, ready to contribute their personal Torah, that it becomes a place where God can dwell among us. I can't possibly talk about all of the amazing opportunities I've had as a member of this clergy team. I've gotten to create new forms of Judaica and advocate for justice. I've gotten to teach and preach and meditate and travel. You've invited me into your lives in times of joy and sorrow. You've shared your stories and trusted me with your hearts. It has been an honor and a delight to serve as your rabbi. There are too many people to thank here, but if you'll indulge me, I do want to express my deep gratitude to my mentors and colleagues. Rabbi Buchdahl, you have given me the greatest gift, your trust. Before I had any idea what I was doing, you trusted me. You gave me the courage to try new things, and I knew that you would have my back no matter what. And almost always, when I came to you and said, I have this crazy idea, you told me to go for it. You taught me not to lead from a place of fear, but with faith in life's abundance. Kosi, Revaya. Rabbi Lord, you were my first mentor here. Your wisdom and compassion have served as a model for me of what it is to serve a community. Thank you, my friend. I'm also grateful to the rest of our clergy team who have been my teachers and my friends. It has been a joy being in sacred cahoots with you. I owe a debt as well to our board and lay leaders who have empowered me to experiment and asked me the tough questions, as well as our executive director, Marcia Caban, whose ability to keep her eyes on the horizon keeps this very big ship pointed in the right direction. I could not bear to leave if I were not confident that the work I care so deeply about is in the very best of hands. Rabbi Sarah Berman, you have illuminated for me the many paths into our tradition. Rabbi Hilly Haber, who's in California, you exemplify the idea that justice is what love looks like in public. Rabbi Andrew Kaplan Mandel, your vision of how we can build a worldwide community of compassion, learning, and practice is a continuing source of inspiration for me. And I am quite aware that none of what I get credit for around here would be possible without the hard work and dedication of my team, Carolyn Ressler, Rachel Kaplan, Julia Takatsky, Marina Nebro, and Rachel LaCourcia. And shout out also to Lauren Dickel and Chelsea Wordy, who helped build this team. Anyone who has learned with me knows I love to end by finding a blessing that arises from our discussion of the text. And so as I close this chapter in my learning from you and prepare to walk into the blank space that awaits before my next challenge, I offer this prayer. God of our ancestors who spoke the world into being and brought us to this moment, please bless the work of our hands so that we may together make your love, compassion, and justice manifest in this world. And let us also remember to pause. Every 7 days or every 7 years or every 7 minutes, remind us to put down our work and look around. To remember that we are always already blessed beyond measure. To allow our blessings to overflow and catch up with us. And to know that we will find you there, in the pause, in the breath, in the wide open spaces, And in those fallow times when the seeds that will emerge are not yet visible, grant us faith in abundance and possibility, and most of all, in one another. Shabbat Shalom.